fighting to come again. As the year flew by from the excitement, we now declare the opening of our special team tournament begins. In 1996.
Following the fallout successes of the two previous King of Fighters series tournament games, King of Fighters 94 and King of Fighters 95, the pressure to produce a King of Fighters game follow-up was high within the FGC. A game that could not only push the FGC and the gaming scene into the next decade, but to revolutionize it as a whole. Enter a game from the King of Fighters gaming series, following the high expectation and successes of its two previous predecessors was the aim, and it was to completely change the way the FGC was going to play fighting games forever. And with a new way to play the game, old favorites, new characters, new rivalries, and also a story lore, King of Fighters 96 was going to bring success to the SNK and to its new heights. So join me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages as we dive into the world of King of Fighters 96 and to discover why its groundbreaking fighting game mechanics, immersive character roster, brand new rivalries that would go on to change the fighting game scenario forever. The King of Fighters 96 is often cited as one of the most influential fighting games of all time, and for good reason. Released in 1996 by SNK, it built upon the successes of its predecessors and introduced several innovations that would go on to shape the genre. Before King of Fighters 96, fighting games were starting to gain popularity, but they were also facing criticisms for their simplistic gameplay. Games like the earlier King of Fighters predecessors, King of Fighters 94 and King of Fighters 95, had just started, and were reliant on the simple gameplay overhaul. Gameplay was often simplistic and lacked depth. Players could perform a few special moves and combos, but the overall gameplay experience was somewhat shallow. Another issue with early fighting games was the lack of strategy. Players would often rely on memorized combos and button mashing to get by. This made the games feel more of a test of memorization rather than a true skill of competition. Furthermore, the 1v1 gameplay was feeling dated, and SNK and King of Fighters was aiming to change all of that. King of Fighters came in and changed all of this with its innovative team battle system, following the same formula that King of Fighters 94 and King of Fighters 95 had in their character roster. Players could assemble a team of 3 fighters and to compete against another team, or to edit the original team to accommodate a completely different team member in the case of how King of Fighters 95 had. This added a new layer of strategy to the game, as players had to carefully choose their team members and to manage their health throughout the match. The game also introduced a more complex combo system, allowing players to chain together a variety of attacks for devastating effect. This added a new level of depth to the gameplay, as players had to master the timing and execution of their combos. Also to the inclusion of surprising the opponent with devastating supers and a devastating upgrade to the normal supers, provided that the conditions were met in the game. To the character roster, for the first time, it included an overhaul of new characters, some from other SNK fighting game IPs like Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting. Characters like Deez Howard, Mr. Big, and Wolfgang Krauser were included to form the boss team. Other 2 characters were included in Chizuru Kagura and Gainitz, which added a layer into the game, an in-game story of a mysterious fable spanning centuries and a higher power in the making. To the teams of King of Fighters 96 characters, for the first time in King of Fighters history, the character roster went from 8 teams of 3 characters in King of Fighters 94, assigned to a nation and or country, to bolstering an amount of 30 plus characters, including a new team comprising of Yori Yagami, Mature, and Vice, the 2 other former secretaries of the previous King of Fighters editions. Also a silent assassin by the name of Leona Hydron, who was indirectly connected to the overall story. To the stages in King of Fighters 96 were also more interactive, with players able to use the environment to their advantage. These included the Japan stage, one for Team Japan or Team Hero, in the morning, and the other in the same place for Team Psycho Soldier in the afternoon. Another key innovation was the game's emphasis on teamwork. Players had to work together with their teammates and characters, using their unique abilities to take down their opponents. This created a sense of camaraderie and strategy that was missing from earlier fighting games of that era. To the BGMs and the soundtracks, under the guide of the SNK Music Group, known as the Shinsekai Gyakoku Zutsugidan in Japan, also gave the game's iconic songs like Esaka for Team Japan, Rumbling in the City for Team Ikari Warriors, to the elegance of Chizuru Kagura's Fairy, and to the menacing trash head of Gamin. The SNK Music Group gave King of Fighters 96 a new feel to the game's sound. King of Fighters 96 was released to critical acclaim, with many praising its innovative gameplay mechanics. In certain situations on home console, you can even have an option of a 1v1 gameplay mode. The game quickly became a staple of the competitive gaming scene, with players around the world competing in tournaments and events. The game's influence can still be seen today, with many more modern fighting games borrowing from its innovations. The team battle system, in particular, has become a staple of the genre, with games later on like Super Smash Bros. And Marvel vs. Capcom using similar gameplay mechanics, and also would extend to later King of Fighters editions with new gameplay additions and new improvements. The legacy of King of Fighters 96 extends beyond to its gameplay mechanics too. Later on, the game helped establish the King of Fighters series as a major player in the fighting game genre, paving the way for future titles later on. In the years since its release, King of Fighters 96 has become a cult classic, with many players still fondly remembering their experiences with the game. Its impact on the fighting game genre cannot be overstated, and it still remains as one of the most influential games of all time. In its conclusion and summary, King of Fighters 96 truly revolutionized the fighting game genre, introducing innovations that would go on to shape the industry as it is today. Its influence can still be seen today, and still it remains a beloved classic amongst gamers. So, to the thoughts in the comment section below, what were some of your favorite memories of King of Fighters 96? Do you still have a favorite character and or characters, to the stages and or stages, the BGMs and the soundtracks, and that annoying SNK boss syndrome that happened? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you're interested in more fighting games, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I've got a whole playlist dedicated to the genre. Follow me on my socials, fan, and show some love to my YouTube channel by commenting on this video and other videos, liking and sharing, and also giving love by subscribing to the channel. I promise you it'll be worth the tour of my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some King of Fighters. I'll see you guys on the next one. Away!